Hi everyone and welcome back to Splash Page. Today we're going to discuss Silo, Episode 3, named Machines. It was a wonderful world-building episode with an absolutely shocking ending. As a reminder, I have not read the source material, so my review here is only of the show, and all of the theories I come up with are genuinely that. They're just theories because I don't know what happens, so there are no spoilers. Let's jump in. We start the episode back where we ended episode 2, with Juliette hanging onto a rope beneath the silo and over a body of water. As dramatic as this looks, she's kind of just able to climb back up the rope, but then proceeds to get extremely drunk. The mayor and Deputy Marnez start the long walk down to meet Juliette. They're heading down because Holston, the prior sheriff, recommended her to be the next sheriff, and typically what happens is when someone is retiring, they recommend their replacement. This was a strange reco, though, as no one really knows who she is, and the fact that she works in mechanical, so she doesn't have any experience whatsoever with being sheriff or with the law. It appears as Marnez and the mayor are walking, there's a close eye being kept on them by the judicial team. We then cut to the generator, which is what powers the entire silo, and it's having some issues. They say the issue started about 30 years ago, and Juliette recommends that they shut it down and actually go in and fix the issue, rather than these kind of little piecemeal solutions they keep coming up with so that it keeps running. However, her manager says that he won't be the first person ever to shut down the generator in the silo. We now go back to the mayor and Marnez as they continue their trip down to meet Juliette, and they stop in front of the judicial building to have a sip of water. We find out that the leader of the judicial is someone named Judge Meadows. The two talk about judicial's recommendation for who should be the next sheriff, Paul Billings, but the mayor does not want someone from judicial to be the sheriff. Marnez says they should stop in and say hi to the judge, but the mayor has no interest. They then visit Allison's old boss, Bernard, who works in IT and apparently runs numbers on everyone in the silo, which tells him what they are best fit for. Bernard also tells the mayor that he heard that they didn't stop at judicial to say hi, which apparently creates a little drama. Also look at Bernard, being a little know-it-all gossip. She gives Bernard a bottle of brandy and asks about Juliette, and he calls her a thief. She stole tape, I believe he said, heat tape that stops their servers from cooking. Whatever that is, what I'm more curious about is what are these numbers, and how are they going to be used in the story as we move forward? They stop on the nursery floor, and Jorah Mormont plays the doctor. The doctor is actually Juliette's father. So they stop there not only to say hi to all of the pregnant people and see the babies, but also do a little groundwork on who Juliette is. They ask him why she ended up in mechanical when he's a doctor. It appears they had a bit of a falling out after what I assume is her mother passing away, just based on the way the conversation goes. He doesn't come out and say that, but that's the impression that I got. Because of the way he just interacts with them, they leave a little bit more confused than they had hoped, and the mayor actually says, I think we have more questions than we do answers. As the mayor finally gets down to the generator where Juliette works, the generator is under some extreme stress, and it's kind of a panicked moment. Cooper, Juliette's shadow, is being disrespected a bit by Juliette because she keeps leaving him out of things, and it feels like she's not really teaching him what he needs to know. They end up putting Juliette inside of the generator and essentially locking her in there, saying that the vibrations have been moving the generator, and they seem to have shifted in the direction that they're moving the generator, so there's a bit of a panic. However, they're able to go in there and apply another temporary fix. Martha, the woman who works in the shop that Juliette visits frequently, is visited by the mayor, and they discuss Juliette Nichols. It seems that the mayor and Martha are old friends as they talk about Martha's divorce, which happened 25 years ago, and there's just a nice vibe between the two. Finally, the mayor meets Juliette. The mayor explains that Holston chose Juliette to follow him as sheriff, and she's shocked, but immediately says that her job is more important. She's keeping the generator alive, and it's hard to disagree with her, as we see later on in this episode. So she refuses the offer, but the mayor gives her a gift from Holston, which appears to be Holston's sheriff badge. Hank, the deputy from the down below, notices that Holston carved something into the back of his badge, which makes Juliette immediately chase down the mayor and accept the job. She says she just needs to fix the generator and asks to be allowed to shut it down for a few hours. The mayor agrees to letting them shut it down for 8 hours. There's a dramatic set piece of them fixing the generator while steam builds. One of the things I liked about this scene is the continued world building. When discussing how they're going to fix the generator, they mention that they don't know where the steam comes from. That information was lost. Cooper and Juliette work to fix as much as they can, but it's not without issue. The steam is heating up too quickly, meaning there's going to be an explosion. So rather than tell anyone else to do it, Juliette, the only person who has complete knowledge of what's happening, leaves her post and goes down to shoot water at an overheating cap that's guarding the steam pipe, leaving Cooper to be the hero. In the end, they end up fixing the generator, making Juliette feel it's okay to take up the new position as sheriff. It looks like Marnez has a little crush on the mayor as he's drawing her while they wait in darkness of the silo. Then they start to kiss, so it's apparent they have feelings for each other. Another thing I realized, and it's been around since the very first episode, is that they don't have the ability to take pictures, so drawing is actually a very valuable skill. It's like painting in the 1800s. Juliette gives Martha, the woman who works in the shop, the video camera that she found in George's workshop. So it has come back. I'm curious to see what they're going to find out from this video camera. Bernard figures out that the mayor made a deal with Juliette to allow her to shut down the silo to fix it so that she would then take the position as sheriff. He doesn't let that go as he calls her a thief again and then says, "I pray to the founders you were right." We see Juliette say goodbye to her coworkers, and then she looks at the back of Holston's badge. In the back of the badge, Holston carved the word truth. He told Juliette that he would send her a sign when he found the truth, and this is the sign and the reason she accepted the job. That could have been the end of the episode, but we get one final scene with Deputy Marnez and the mayor, where their relationship is starting to take shape. However, when she goes to the bathroom, she falls and appears to be spitting up blood. I think it's safe to assume that she's been poisoned. But who would have poisoned her? Bernard? The judicial? Somebody else? I went back and watched all of the scenes with her and Marnez again to see if I could see what happened or if at any moment they left their water bottles somewhere else so that someone could have slipped in poison. I'm going to just quickly go through where they were. First thing to call out is they're actually holding the other person's water bottle. So Marnez is actually holding the mayor's water bottle, and the mayor is holding Marnez's water bottle. This way they can just turn around to easily access their water bottle rather than having to take their pack off. The first time they do this is outside of the judicial, but they are not approached by anyone. The second stop is at IT, and they meet with Bernard. They have their packs on the whole time, so I don't see an opportunity for it to be poisoned then. Third, they go to the nursery, still with their packs. They get a very warm welcome, but they are there without their packs on when they go into the room with the babies. Not sure where the packs are at this point. Could have been an opportunity to be poisoned. They get to the generator room. They have an additional deputy there, and Marnez has their packs pretty much the whole time. The mayor then goes to visit Martha, who makes them tea, but we don't see her drink any. Back to Juliette Nichols. The packs are on the chair in the room, and they picked them up before walking out, so I'm working under the assumption that these were under the eyes of Marnez the whole time. We then see them at the police station, but they don't have their packs. They both stay at the police station. We don't see them drink anything, but they are there for a few hours, so this seems fine as well. At this point, we haven't seen the mayor drink, but it's safe to assume that she has, considering she's walked countless floors and probably 10 plus hours have passed. They continue their walk home after the generator is fixed, and they stop for water again outside of IT. Bernard comes out and is not happy with the mayor. He knows that she's made a deal with Juliette. Bernard says, "I pray to the founders you're right." This seems like it may have been the sip that kills her, as we don't see her take any sips after this. Bernard doesn't appear to be close enough to slip anything into her drink, so we're assuming it's not at this moment that it gets poisoned. but it had to be at some point before this. She's then struggling when we are in her office. We don't see her drink anything here, but she goes to the restroom, and that's where she ends up dying. So it seems like Martinez was the only person with real access to her water bottle, but if he's the guilty party, he does a wonderful job acting for absolutely nobody. My other thought is, whoever poisoned the mayor, I'm curious if they actually meant to poison the mayor, because remember, Martinez was carrying the mayor's water bottle and the mayor was carrying his water bottle. So what do you think? Who poisoned the mayor and why? Before I end this video, while editing, I realized that when the power goes out, the screen flashes a few times and it shows the green, beautiful version of outside. I don't know why. Whether the power going out stops a filter on the feed, making it look like a toxic world, or if it kicked in the recording from the Jane Carmi cleaning we saw in episode 1. Either way, I love them sneaking this in. The one thing I will say is I don't see the birds that we saw flying in the Jane Carmi cleaning and in Holston's helmet video. So your guess is as good as mine. I'll likely do a video on this topic alone, but needed to add it to this video before I posted it. That's it from us. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to be doing reviews after every episode, so please like and subscribe here for more Silo content. Thank you. Take it easy, YouTube.